even after he retired, he continued that motto, right? He carried it on in his retirement, and he wrote a book on the Mamba Mentality. He won an Oscar for the Dear Basketball short film. Imagine that, like a basketball player transitioned to all these other roles and just always stay true to that Mamba mentality. Like always try to be the best version of yourself.
Ignition sequence start.
And we are live with the Primas in 5,
4,
3,
2,
1. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Primas podcast. In today's episode, the Primas talk about the Mamba Mentality, which was a term by the late Kobe Bryant. What up, Primas y Primos? ¿Qué onda? This is Cindy B, and I'm here with my two beautiful Primas, Jess and Mally.
Hi everyone, this is Melissa.
Hey everyone, it's Jess. Hope everyone's doing well.
Okay, so before we get started, I just want to read the Mamba Mentality quote. And I quote, "A consistent quest to be the best version of oneself." End of quote. So we're going to elaborate on the Mamba Mentality and what it means to us. And yeah, who wants to start us off?
Yay, I'm so excited. I'm so glad we're excited. We're talking about Kobe this whole episode. Being born and raised in LA, guys, I just grew up in the Kobe era. So I remember the Mamba mentality from being a little kid, how it always just stood with me. So the reason why we decided to talk about Kobe this week, because on Monday, August 24th, a lot of organizations and counties are acknowledging in Los Angeles area, are acknowledging Kobe Bryant and how amazing he was. Ironically, his birthday is also on Sunday, which I didn't know. So he would have been turning 42 this Sunday. Orange County declared on August 24th, that's his day. So Hope County is acknowledging him. And for those of you who don't know, a little fact check, I'm the only primo who really is into sports. So growing up, my dad doesn't have any sons. So he always instilled us watching sports to forcing us to play softball in Cypress Park and being in basketball against my will. So I think from an early age, I just had this fascination with sports. So when I was 10 is when the three-peat had just started. So the Lakers had just won their first championship with Kobe in 2000. Do you guys remember that? 2000, 2001, and 2002. I was around 10 years old when they first won the first one. So I was there rallying the streets, burning down the city at 10 years old. No, I'm just kidding. I was in elementary school. But I remember how crazy the fans got near Staples Center. It was pretty new. Remember? Cindy, you guys hadn't moved to Denver, right?
No, I remember.
You guys were still here, right?
What year was it?
2000 was the first championship.
Oh, I think we moved in 2000. But I mean, that everyone knew about, like, what had happened. Because, it was like so big and it got crazy.
Okay.
I remember actually because my dad works in downtown area. So I remember him calling me like, oh, I guess I can't work today because all the streets were like kind of blocked off, which is kind of cool, So my dad like had no cell phone picture because at the time there was no like flip phone that he would like get himself into with the camera. So that would have been kind of cool if he would have cut some pictures.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't even go to the Laker parade because they were on weekdays. I just remember like I couldn't go to school for that, but I wanted to go so bad. And then a couple of years later in 2009 and 10, they won the two back-to-back. So Kobe in total had like won 5 championships. And I just remember him just always being this amazing basketball player. That's it. Even though I remember him being very hated on during his career, I just remember him scoring 81 points by himself in one game, which is crazy to think of, right? Because on average, teams score that together collectively. So Kobe did that like by himself. So I'm glad we're acknowledging him because he's part of this like LA culture and he influenced so many. So let's honor Kobe Bryant, Primas, and talk about all his accomplishments.
Yay, let's do it. It was really fun to prepare for this episode because, as Jessica said, she's the more, I would say Melissa too a little bit, maybe not. I thought so, but the family's pretty sporty. Like my family's really big on the Raiders, the Dodgers. I mean, every LA team basically, right? The LA Lakers. So yeah, I'm not. But I really liked getting ready for this episode because I didn't know so much about Kobe Bryant, like at all. I knew obviously who he was. I have heard about him, but I didn't know the game like that. I never watched him play. I never nothing. So I did used to be into sports, so I do know basketball, but I never followed it to that extent, like when Kobe was playing. But I was around when the family would talk a lot about Michael Jordan, like his time. Like I remember my dad was really into him. But one thing I enjoyed learning about Kobe was his crazy, like self-discipline and focus. And he didn't just apply it to basketball, like he did, but he also applied it to just, it was awesome. It was awesome to learn. He was very motivating. Like it changed my life to learn about him.
Mel?
So I kind of agree with you guys. I feel like our family growing up, we were pretty much all into the sports type of mania. Like, come on, we would watch WrestleMania together. How many grandma's barbecues do you guys remember on Saturdays and Sundays, and stuff like that? But yeah, definitely. Kobe Bryant actually, aside from being the GOAT, which we all know who he is, like in that standpoint, he was, aside from that, he actually, what I was looking up, he actually had a mental health illness. He was actually had some insecurities, like some of us that do, so he was actually afraid of that spotlight, like getting out of like, some of his insecurities that he had. And I think he was a really good advocate for this sense in mental health awareness for young youth people. So, getting that youth awareness, and I think with his type of game that he was just on, like just getting out on the court and showing like up to like all these charity events, and, he was a daughter of girls, I'm sorry. He was a father of girls. So in that sense, getting the girls basketball camps getting out, that was pretty neat to look up for that. And, just the reflection and just all the young audience had on him. That was pretty amazing. Yeah, definitely. Like I could say he was definitely known not only on the court, but like definitely off the court for like, and, I'm such a good advocate as well for like mental health, and I think with the pandemic going on, it's really a reflection of just like, it's not just something that should be hidden. It should be known. There should be a little bit more awareness. And Vanessa does this really well with her girls, getting the youth girls basketball team. And then there's also this college icon girl that's going on to go play college ball because Kobe impacted her throughout youth till, in college. So I think that's pretty cool. And just like you, Jessica and Cindy, who have, daughters, females, so I mean, this is just an eye-opening of just what's out there in the world for them.
Sorry, Mel, you said icon, it's Yukon. But I get what you're saying. Everyone else will.
Yeah, and I remember just growing up, do you guys, when you guys were doing the homework on him, just like his motivation to never fail or to show weakness on the court in that atmosphere. And again, I'm just talking about his career right now. This is all before he retired in 2016. I remember when he got injured and he tore his Achilles, and he still went on the court and shot 2 free throws and made them. Imagine that. Imagine tearing a ligament and still walking with no assistance and doing what you have to do is the mindset that I want to highlight in this entire episode. So yeah, not only was he an inspiration for many of us young women, since he does have daughters, but so many young men, you know what I mean? And I remember when he passed, how many men I've never seen like more sad, just to show how great of an individual he was and inspired so many. Like, yeah, on and off the court in so many different aspects.
One thing that I watched a lot of videos, like little like just videos of him playing or him talking or whatever, and he really like thrived off of competition. And I appreciate that everything he says is like, you can apply this to anything in your life. It's whatever you are, like making that your best self and working at it in every single moment of your life. Like it's a lot of work, because he was a very high performing athlete. And even though I don't like sports and like the whole sports thing, I think any high performance athlete has to be extremely dedicated to so much. Like he says, which I love, he's like, it's not talent, it's hard work. He said when he first started playing basketball, he was 11, and that he sucked. He didn't score no points. And then 2 years later, because he practiced, because he wanted to be really good, he became better. He became the best in the state at 14. And I appreciated that, because it's like, as long as whoever wants to be a high performing person in whatever it is that they're doing, you can do it. And he serves as a motivation, because I don't know, I got very motivated. Like it totally changed my life. And I'm like, man, that's so cool. I had no idea. I did think he was cocky. I didn't know, like the little that I did know about him, the media kind of presented what was going to get the most attention. And I don't know, I kind of was like, I don't get the hype, blah, 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 whatever. But then right now, when I had to study him a little bit, I was like, man, like he was so great. Like he deserved to talk shit if he needed to. And I don't think he ever talked shit like that. It was never personal. It was always like, I want to be better than you. And if, whoever he was playing against, I learned that during the Allen Iverson times, that was like his biggest first competition.
Yeah,
and he said he went to go see every single one of his videos. Like he just wanted to study his competition so badly. He was like obsessed. And it was like, whoa, like I need to be that obsessed about, whatever I think of my competition is, whatever's standing in my way, like be obsessively, disciplined enough to he kind of got joy from competition. He got joy. He was like, no. He got motivated to push himself more. He's like, I'm going to be the best. And it was just cool. I didn't know that about him. So it was nice to learn that he pushed himself so hard. It means that anybody can, and it was motivating. I liked it.
Yeah. And I like how you mentioned that, because even after he retired, he continued that motto, right? He carried it on in his retirement, and he wrote a book on the Mamba Mentality. He won an Oscar for the Dear Basketball short film. Imagine that, like a basketball player transitioned to all these other roles and just always stay true to that Mamba mentality. Like always try to be the best version of yourself. And I really admire him being a dad, just being that positive example for his daughters, and a husband, right? Because we hear all these other great athletes, but sometimes they kind of get messy, or they have all these like allegations against them, but Kobe wasn't, right? Like not only was he an amazing husband, which takes a lot to be an amazing athlete and to play all these like roles in your life and be 110% to them. Like, no, he wasn't just a great basketball player. He was a great so many things. And I think that's what I love and admire about him, because I try to apply that. Like, I'm not just a mom. I'm not just a daughter. Like, I'm so many things, but I can be great in all these aspects of my life, because he showed us in that way. We don't have to just be great at one thing and that's it, and wash our hands like, okay, well, I mastered this one thing in my life, we're ever growing, we're like ever evolving. And that's why I love him. It's part of this like LA culture. And in my drunken days, oh man, when someone would say LeBron was the best or Jordan, I'm like, no. He's not. But I learned to calm down and humble myself.
Good for you, Jessica. That's growth.
That is growth, you guys.
So,
I'm applying it.
On the last book that we read in our book club, we read The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. And his last agreement was exactly like explaining who Kobe Bryant was. It was to do your best, right, Mel? Like try your best.
Yes, that's correct, Cindy. On our next,
It was
on the last
try our
chapter of that
best,
book.
right? And thank you. And
Yes.
it just, you know, some of the things that you were saying, Jess, and some of the things I learned about him was like he literally gave his best, and that's what the book says, or that's what, you know, Don Miguel Ruiz says. He's like, no matter what it is, always make the best effort to be, you know, whoever, a mom, a teacher, a friend, a parent, a partner, a tío, a tía, whatever it is, you know, at work, whether you love your job or not, you know, figure that out, but still do your best. Like show up every single day with your best. And that's what he did. And I learned that he motivated a lot of people around him. And I love to study from a psychological perspective, like leadership skills, because I obviously want to have a successful business one day. And I know that people who do have successful businesses didn't get there from being regular and showing up regular to their day and showing up regular to their current job and as a partner, as a parent, as a friend, as a business partner. They had to, there's just so much to manage and so many people that they have to manage, that in order for it to be successful, they have to be on top of their game. Like I understand that, and I want to get to that. I'm not there yet, but I understand that psychologically. And I'm like, Kobe Bryant was literally the example of that. It was like he pushed people around him, and he says that the people that he didn't get along with were people that didn't push themselves. He's like, I didn't, as much as he liked not confrontation, like competition, and like I thought he was pretty badass. I had no idea he was like this at all. Like if someone hurt him in a game, he was like, oh, okay. And like he always needed to get them back. And it was just during the game. And that's what I respected about him, that as much as you thought, or some people may have thought he was cocky or whatever, like I did, it showed that he literally, I think Dwayne Wade one time, like accidentally broke his nose. I'm like, oh shit, you know? And he, that Dwayne Wade called him and was just like, bro, my bad, like whatever. And that Kobe was just like, no, like I'll see you at the game. Like I'm gonna like, don't worry, like no. And I'm like, damn, like to be that confident, because he did practice all day, every day. I want to feel that. Like that's how you get confidence, is by practicing and being so good at whatever it is that you want or what you know, you're passionate about. And then just, if he just enjoyed it. And I liked it. I'm going to apply it to my life, even though I'm not playing basketball. Like these things are easily applicable because they're traits of a leader. And I think that's what Kobe was. He was a true leader, naturally. Like he was just like, he had a lot of natural leadership, because like, how do you get motivated like that every single minute of your life? So I thought that was super cool. He motivated me.
Really quick, is anyone going to bring up when Matt Barnes tried to make him flinch by throwing the ball in his face? Getting him and Matt Barnes, another player that also at one point played for the Lakers, were getting into it really heated on the court. Like they were obviously going at each other. And Matt Barnes was getting irritated. And at one point, the Magic were supposed to take the ball out, and Kobe was right in front of him on the other side of the line, like just like waiting for him to, you know, pass the ball in. And this is just to show you how focused, how blocked off his mind is. Just tunnel vision type of attitude, where like, I'm here to win. I'm not here to be intimidated. Like I literally have nothing else on my mind but winning. So if someone like my wife could probably be having a baby right now. I don't care. Like I feel like that's how focused he was. And so Matt Barnes being pissed off, and this is a little into the game already, he like, before he was going to throw the ball into the court or inbound it, he tried to make Kobe flinch by like pushing it in his face real quick. He didn't hit him with it, but he was literally, if you see the video, like less than a centimeter away from his face. And Kobe just stood there with like this, like just look on his face. Like he didn't flinch at all. And then like, even though when I remember watching the game, not thinking that was a big deal, but then like I was a little kid too. That was like in 09, I think. And I just remember like, I guess now that I'm an adult thinking I probably would have flinched. Like, whoa, you know what I mean? But like, but his was like, he was just like, I'm ready. He's like, I'm ready for anything. Like, even if I feel like even if he would have got hit, he wouldn't have cared. He'd have been like, I'm here to play. Like there's been times where, and I think when he was younger, he did get into a fight with some player off the New York Knicks, but he was younger. I feel like if people try to push him like that, he was just like, I'm out of the way. Like, I don't care about that. I'm here to play a game. Yeah. And that was really cool to think about his, like when he was focused on something, he gave it 110%. And that's what I was going to say.
That was nice, Eloy. Thank you for that. I don't remember. All I remember is Matt Barnes and him being teammates. I don't remember that flinch.
Yeah, eventually they became teammates. And when Matt Barnes tells the story, he says that Kobe like hit him up. I forgot, I'm not sure, but I think he said Kobe hit me up, and he's like, damn, if someone's willing to try to test me like that, I want him on my team. That's what he says Kobe told him. And that's how he eventually got on the Lakers. I guess because Kobe knew, it's like, someone's trying to test me like that. Like, this guy's tough. So I want these tough people on my team. So somewhat of the cockiness, but.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, but that's crazy. That's pretty badass.
Teammates. Imagine that. He didn't like, yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, guys, it is sad. I mean, earlier this year, we lost an amazing human being. And honestly, when I've ever heard of a celebrity or anything like that passing, I never get emotional. But with him, I did. I don't know if it's just the style that they went out in and who he was with, but I was so emotional for like a week. Every time I heard it, it would just make me cry. And again, I never met Kobe Bryant. Cindy says we went to a game, but I don't even remember.
Ask your parents.
Yeah. Had to be like in 91 or 92.
Or maybe they lied to me, or maybe you guys were going to go see the game, and I assumed you guys were going to go live because you were getting dressed up. They were putting you in a little jumper, like a Lakers jumper suit.
Cindy was watching a regular game at Cypress Park, and they told her, these are the Lakers.
We were very little. That's when you used to live behind us on Avenue 28. I was tiny.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have something to say. Actually, your dad used to get tickets for the Clippers games. So it might have been a Clippers game.
I don't remember.
Because I remember I was small and your dad had called my dad one day and was like, hey, I got Clippers tickets. And we went to go see
Clippers versus the Lakers?
No, it was what's the guy from the Clippers? The sports commentator now with Shaq. What's his name? Eloy?
Okay, Mel.
Charles Barkley.
There you go. We went to go see Charles Barkley was on the team. And
nice.
It might have been a Clippers game because I remember your dad does like the Clippers, right?
No. Oh, wait. I was thinking of Ruben while you said that.
My dad did take us, Eloy. Do you remember?
I don't remember ever going to a Laker game.
Yeah.
Oh, and he brought some lady.
Game.
He brought some lady, right?
Game. I don't remember, but I just remember he took us. Nobody was there. It literally was just us. There were people there, but
it was at night, right?
Yeah,
at the forum.
We were young.
It was at the forum.
I don't remember, but I just remember we went, and it was pretty cool. It's always cool to watch a live game, whoever it is. But it was
really quick to touch on Jess because she said it hit her really hard. I just want to explain what I was doing that day. Was it a weekend? I don't know.
It was a weekend. Oh my God, it was almost on Cindy's birthday. The irony would have been if it was on her birthday. I wouldn't talk to you, Prima. Just kidding.
I know.
It was in January?
It was January 26th. It was a Sunday. I swear.
Dang.
It was a Sunday. I remember it being a Sunday because I remember I was just chilling at home. I think it was a day off for me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go buy me a bottle of champagne and some orange juice and drink mimosas all day. And then I get the news. I don't know why. It was just a random Sunday. And then I was just feeling I wanted to drink that. And then I get the news and I literally I got sad and I finished the whole bottle by myself and I was like crying. I was like sad, just drinking it, crying. I was like, what the hell?
You're like, fuck this orange juice.
Well, I killed it all. I drank the champagne and the mimosas. It was a weird drink to drink during morning time, but it was I just remember that was happening. I just remember couldn't believe that I was sad. And a few friends hit me up too, like from some Colorado friends who know that I'm a Laker fan. They're like, hey, you all right, bro? And it hit LA.
Yeah.
I was raised half of my young life in Colorado. So, but it hit LA, like the people out here are hard. And I guess I went through my cry, but I wasn't gonna go to Staples Center and just stand out there for hours like these people were, So yeah, it really hit LA hard.
Yeah, I think so. Antonio's part of the culture.
I did it. Yeah, and I didn't know that he played his whole career with the LA Lakers. That's crazy, right? I think that's why also.
And rare.
And they're just very LA.
Rare. Yeah, not even Jordan did that. Jordan went to another team.
Yeah, so that I think that's why too, right? Like that's maybe why it hit everybody so hard is because he had been there. It's like that's like a community
20 years.
hero.
For 20
Yeah.
years, yeah. And I was like, whoa. Yeah, for as long as I think he came in 96 if he retired in 2016. Imagine that. I was 6. So yeah, I don't remember the Magic era and all that, but I was around for the Kobe era and I just remember all the hype and he was the best basketball player, hands down. Did you guys see his short film by any chance? The Dear Basketball that won the Oscar?
No, it's short.
It's a short film. Mm-hmm.
Where is it at? Where can we find it? YouTube?
On YouTube.
Oh, how come that didn't come up?
I know.
His
But I
book
did
came up and I'm like, nah, 3 hours.
It's going to be the next book club for sure. Hashtag next book for book club.
Jess, let's keep our personal lives off of the podcast.
You guys
I'm
just
texting you
referenced
right
your
now.
book.
Oh yeah. Anyways, but you know it's a sensitive subject when we have to vote on books. We're all very opposing.
Yeah.
But I love the book we're reading right now. It's The Alchemist. It's pretty awesome. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention about him, just kind of to leave listeners who want to take their life to the next level and who are ready to do their thing, whatever it is, even if it's scary, I want everyone to know, and I'm being super transparent right now, but I still don't know what I'm doing or what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a very strong drive and I'm trying to work on myself, but I still don't. A lot of people think I have it figured out, but I definitely don't. And I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to have it figured it out. Like, I know society tells us that, oh, you know, by this age, or if you have a degree, or if you did this and that, then you should have it figured out. And it's just like, that's not true. It comes to everybody in different ways. I think Kobe was blessed to have found his why very early on. And he just focused on that one thing. And then he went super hard. And that's what I took from him. You can apply that at any age in the world. And it's very liberating to know that you can push yourself to that level. We have it in us. So I wanted to leave the listeners just with, like me, what I took from Kobe was that he mentioned goal setting. Setting goals is I keep hearing this from high performance people, is that they set goals, whatever it is that they want to accomplish. If they can see the goal visually, like if they're reading, like, I don't know, if you're at the gym, like, I want to be stronger. How much stronger, right? Like, be very detailed about what your goals in life are. Or I want to make this much money. Put yourself in a position to make that much money. You deserve that and more. So put yourself in the position by setting goals and saying, well, how much money? Is it 45,000? Is it 50,000? Is it 60? Is it 6 figures plus? Whatever it is, if you're looking at that, then every single move that you make, like Kobe did, was towards that goal. And he said one thing that really stuck with me, because he was very self-aware, is that he was very passionate and his level of detail was very thorough. Like, he said, doing the best also means knowing who you are. So if you have conflict with people, if you are at a workplace and something's going on, if you want to change your eating habits, if you want to be more physical, whatever it is that you really do want to do, but you keep making excuses for yourself, that's kind of like admitting, like, okay, you don't want to do it. And he did a lot of things that he didn't want to do. He was just so passionate that he set goals for himself and he met all of them. But when I studied him, it made me feel like I could do it. And so it's every single minute. I know we said this in the karma episode and in other episodes, but like, it is every single minute. It is anytime you have a negative thought go through your head, say, well, how can I best handle this situation? How can I best, I don't know, like, handle whatever it is that's in front of you and give it your all. And I don't know, it was very motivational. I want to look more into his, like, thoughts, obviously, now. I did, and it was really cool, but I don't know, I felt confident. And right now I'm looking for full-time work. I was running my own business and it was going really well until this COVID thing happened. And I was just working part-time, like little part-times here and there, and it was getting me by. But now that I'm going back into, like, the nonprofit world, or just what my background is. And I do want to do my business still, but it's just right now, I need to make money. And so I'm putting in my head, like, you deserve to go into whatever you want to go into, right? Like, put that out there into the universe. Say, I want to get this much money because I know I'm worth this much. But really ask yourself, are you worth that much? Are you going to bring it 110%? And just putting that out there to the universe, because like I'm on Indeed.com all day and I don't care, and I'm just like, it's okay, like, and I don't want to be afraid, I don't want to be frustrated, I don't want to be impatient, because I obviously wanted to work for just myself, and at the moment I have to, I have priorities, so I have to turn it around. I have to go back into the system, if you will, and that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm kind of like, let me establish myself again financially, and then I'll go take risks like I was doing when I had money just coming in from my business. So this is just perfect timing. Like the fact that we had to do Kobe, this was Jessica's idea. She said that the 824 was coming up and that's a big deal. And I'm like, yes, let's talk about it, because regardless of who he was, and in that moment, I still didn't know who he was really. I knew that he was a big deal for something. So I'm like, let me see why he was such a big deal. And I learned why, and that was beautiful. And I'm glad we talked about this, even though I would have never in my life thought to talk about sports. I'm glad that this podcast is like it's eclectic, we'll touch on subjects, and it's not, I don't know, like we'll touch on anything. I like that.
Yeah, definitely. I like how you had the idea, Cynthia. You thought we were going to do stats and like it was going to be an ESPN report. I'm like, no. And I'm glad.
Well, because Eli was just like, I don't think you guys should. And I'm just like, I get that. But if we talk about, like me, for example, I love psychology. Like, that's my shit, And so like, if I talk about like the behavioral aspects, which I did, of a high performing individual, then we can talk about anybody, we can talk like everything is here to teach us something. You just have to be open to receive. Can you guys hear my ASMR hands?
Great ending.
My ASMR hands?
Let's all get tattoos with the black mamba down after this. Show loyalty.
About all that.
Okay, I'll settle for LA tattoos.
I'll do that on my neck.
Awesome.
Keep it OG.
I am actually going to get a Lakers symbol tattoo at some point in my life. Like just the L. I don't know if maybe I throw an 8 and 24 under there. 24-8.
Or what about LA? Just do an LA with us.
Just old school. Let's bring it out.
Right here.
Let's keep it. Yeah, for real. We should. My cousin in Mexico, shout out to Gibran and everybody else they do like little tiny tattoos. And I'm like, I really want a neck tattoo. And I feel like that's the only way possible. If it's like, because it's going to hurt really bad and I'm very sensitive with pain, but I'm down.
I'm going to get it inside my lip, actually.
Oh.
I'll take it one further. I was going to flip my eyelids up and get the L on one eye and the A on the other eyelid.
Oh, snaps. You guys are super gangster.
We're super down. I love it.
You guys are super LA. I'm going to just keep it cash and put it on my neck because I'm from Colorado now. What about you, Mel? Where are you going to get yours? On your armpit?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking right now. Maybe get it on my armpit.
Okay, Mel, take it away.
All right, guys. So we hope today you guys enjoyed our episode on the Mamba Mentality, Kobe Bryant, 824 Day. Please give us some love on our YouTube channel and also our Instagram page, PrimasPodcast. For any shout outs are really recommended. We always get back to our audience as much as we can. Jessica's been enlightening us with our online Instagram posts. So thank you, Jess. A special shout out to our behind the scenes guy, Elo. Thank you very much for everything. But we'll see you guys next time, okay?
All right. Bye.
Bye, everyone.